I want to talk about the Toyota market because I saw this video.
Buyers don't consider all options when they're shopping for a car. The Toyota market is proof of that. It just
So
is.
are used Toyota buyers not doing their research, or Doug, did you get something wrong? First off, before I get too deep into this, I have no beef with Doug. Doug is a good guy. He has good information. I just don't think he understands the Toyota market, which is why I'm making the video. Secondly, I do agree with one premise, which I think a lot of people should be considering new versus used, because I think the used car market is inflated, but I understand why it's inflated and I understand why consumers are doing it. And it's not because they aren't doing their research or considering all their options. There are plenty of legitimate reasons, which I'm going to go into three of them. The first reason comes down to a lot of people consider the previous generation to be more reliable. This isn't every model, but when it comes down to like the 4Runner and the Tundra, these are great examples of it. The 4Runner was just fully redesigned, and it had one of the most rock solid engines that we have seen in Toyota in the last few decades. And people are worried this new generation engine is not going to hold up. So that being said, even though both are inflated, most people are going to move to this Toyota 4Runner, the old generation, because of that engine. And people are buying Toyotas because of reliability more than anything else. Compare that to a Mercedes, Doug, where they're buying that because it massages your bum and has pretty lights and is super comfortable. People aren't doing that for Toyota. They're buying it because they want a car that's going to last them 500,000 miles. And this example is so prevalent if you just look at the Toyota Tundra market. You can see almost every dealership is flooded with these cars. You can't give them away. I'm doing $10,000 to $14,000 off these cars consistently. But if you look at the 2021 generation, more expensive than the current gen, which boggles my mind. It frustrates me. That's the same thing. But it's because it has a V8 that is tried and true. And once that car was redesigned, Toyota had a big issue with their engines, and their engine just started going pew. So guess what? People don't trust the new gen. They trust the old gen. And that's, again, why people are buying Toyota. Second is the lack of availability. If I call 5 different dealerships and everybody says the car is not available and the only option they have is used, you're going to think that's the only option. And you might say it's crazy for somebody to pay an inflated price, but I imagine people paid inflated prices during COVID when you had no new Mercedes-Benz on your lot, but they had used ones that were able to sell. It's the same concept. Toyota still has a lack of inventory issues, which means people are only going to use because they can't find a new. Now, that being said, you can find new if you're willing to open up your radius. But if I call 5 dealerships and all tell me the same thing, guess what? I'm going to believe used might be the only option. Number 3 is very unique to Toyota, which is everything is very market dependent. I can call somebody on the West Coast and every dealership I'll call will be $5,000 above MSRP on a Grand Highlander hybrid. But I'll go to a completely different market and I'll find people giving me $2,000 to $3,000 off MSRP. It's because that car is not selling as well in that market, or that market is more competitive, or people know to shop in that market. It is crazy to think that consumers aren't doing their research. Again, most people don't think they have to look nationwide to find the best deal. It's why a lot of people hire us for Toyota. It's why it's our biggest brand. It's not because consumers aren't doing their research. It's because Toyota is just a tough car to buy.